Okay, what we'll do is glue down there, glue down this section here, and we'll be good to go. So get some glue down. Right, and then down the joint. Yeah, excellent. Right. Remember the pin to go back in. Right. So you can see the target that we're aiming for. Go to the end section. And then that piece will just go in there. And we're good. Yep. There we go. Right, let's get this last little piece glued up. Up there. Glue down this section. And then a little bit along this section. And pin back in. Right, in we go. Make sure she fits into the ends. Make sure it's pushed down. Basically now just apply light pressure to the corners, so you sort of push in like a diamond shape in towards the centre. Doesn't need a lot, just enough to keep the kit square. Right, what we need to do is just set that to one side, and then we'll get the roof section. Right, here we are. We're back to our what remains on our 1mm card. Basically, we've got the Portacabin roof. We've got the extension legs, so that the Portacabin can be raised off the ground and levelled, and the Portacabin feet. This is what we want next, the Portacabin roof. So let me get this cut out and we'll come back. So we've got our Portacabin roof section cut out. What we need to do is apply the covering strip. So, can you remember that section that was print only? Now what we've got here is a steel roof to match the building, or we've got the standard asphalty type felt roof. I'm going to put, let's have a look. I think I'm going to put the steel roof on my version, but the choice is yours. So let me just cut this out and then we'll show you where we go. But actually no, before we cut it out, this will be a good point for me to show you how to use, can you remember I said the ballpoint pen? This section wraps around the 1mm card, so this section will actually fold under, and that'll go under, and this will go under. Well, to get some nice crisp edges, you'll notice on the kit there's some dotted red lines. Basically what you have to do, and I might as well cut right across both because they're both the same, get your steel rule, just line it up with the red line. You need to be slightly off the red line because you've got the ballpoint pen section to go down, and basically it's 1, 2, 3. Like I said, you're not actually putting any ink on because it's empty. I've taken the refill out. All this is the plastic grip and the ballpoint nib section. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a nice faint score line right through that red dotted line, which will make folding this so much easy. And then it's 1, 2, 3. Spin it round. Get your other line. 1, 2, 3, and then your next line, because remember you're folding this round some 1mm thick card, so that's why there's a millimetre gap between these two lines down there. Now all I'm going to do is score the blue one on this section. So your line, cut through 1, 2, 3. If by any chance you hear clip clopping behind me, it's because like I said, I'm downstairs, and that'll be my dog Monty pacing up and down on the wooden floor, and it's these nails you can hear clip clopping behind. Quite surprised he's quiet, because for an English Springer Spaniel, he gets quite vocal when he starts barking if he hears anything outside. Right, we're ready to go. What I'll do is I'll cut this section out, and then we'll do the fold lines so they're already folded, and then we can wrap this round the roof section. Right, we've got the covering cut out. I haven't finished all the cutting just yet because it's actually easier to do the folding at this point. Now I always start, let's see if I can get this on camera, fold it over, and you're after the inner line if you can get it. See, and then you come down, see how that's folded neatly, bring it down and run a smooth. Now what I like to do at this point, if I can find, this is the trouble when you work from one place down to another, hoping you've brought everything with you. Now I've just noticed the battery flashing on the camcorder, but what I'll do is, now we've got that creased, put a pencil line in there. It'll all come apparent once we finish the folding. Now I won't do any more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to stop, get this camcorder back on charge before I can carry on with the kit. Okay, so here we are. We've recharged the batteries. In the meantime, I've continued folding those lines, and I've drawn with a pencil down the fold line. That just makes it easier for when we glue the roof into place, we get it exactly where we want it. But before we go any further, what we need to do is now notch out the rest of these. So let's see if we can get on with it. Pretty simple. Just cut out freehand pieces, just like that. Right. Put that out of the way. Nice and simple is this. There we go. That's the last one. Put the blade away. Right, so what we will do is we'll move the kit out of the way. We'll get our glue mat back. I'll turn that over and I'll use the slightly smaller Pritt stick on this one, and basically off we go. Apply the glue. I always like to work from the centre out. Make sure you get to the ends and come over the ends like so. Right, and then let's put, doesn't matter which way up you put the card, see how it fits onto the centres. Right, press it down. Let's get the lid back on this glue stick. Right, simple case now of folding it over. That's one. Now that we've got that one slightly stuck down onto the mat, we can actually move the mat out of the way now. Get the other end. Over we go. See, it keeps your joints nice and crisp. Over we go. And then the last one. Right. That's why. Oh dear. That's why you should clean I'm not too sure if we're going to get that off now. That's dried glue from the mat. Okay, that's a good reason and a good demonstration why you should clean the remaining glue off your gluing mat after each session. We'll get bulk of it off, I think. There we go. If not, we can get some weathering onto that. There we go, look. Right, we've got bulk of it off. Don't worry about it. Don't make the same mistake I've just made there. I think what I'll do before I continue, I'll actually give that cutting mat a wash, and that will stop that from happening. Right, we can put this to one side for now, because what we need to do is use the corner coverings to cover all these raw edges. Just finishes the kit off nicely. So we'll put that there, put that to one side. What we need, let's bring it back. These are the sections that we now need, and once again these are just like the roof sections. They've got red dotted lines running through them, makes it easier for folding. So once again, using your empty biro and your steel rule, line it up with the red dotted line, which is in centre of the printed piece that you actually want. And 1, 2, 3. That's all you need. And then you work your way down. 1, 2, 3. And again, like so. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And then I believe this is the last one. 1, 2, 3. Now, what we can do, use your knife. Actually, forgot to mention, on your plan it shows how your wall sections go. See, that's your outer wall, which sits on the outside of the left. That one sits on the outside. So that shows you how to actually build it. You could actually build your outer wall and then slip your base in, but I prefer doing it the way I showed you right at the beginning of this pilot session. What I want to do, just freehand out, and the reason for this, these are small parts and you're far better off. Right, let's move these because we'll need these shortly. Right, just trim that down there because we don't need that much on. Right, what you're going to do, because it's easier whilst they're all still attached, fold, get a good crease, then using your pencil again, flip it round whilst it's still at 90 degrees, just make a pencil mark. Just makes things easier for when we line things up onto the kit. What you do, come down to your next one, fold that over, and basically you keep repeating the process all the way down until you've got every piece sort of pre-folded. It makes it easier for wrapping around those corners. So nice and easy, bend over, you'll find the paper will automatically go to those score lines, and then you just run your fingers down to complete. And finally, that one, just like so. Right, and there's all the lines, oops, sorry, all the lines on the back, where we can now cut these out individually and start wrapping them round these raw edges to tidy the kit up. So I won't bore you with the cutting out. I'll get these done and then I'll show you how we go about covering those raw edges.